So here I was today working from home, and I just get these emergency fucking balance patch notes. I was doom scrolling, of course, and I see Marvel Rivals post this on Instagram. So I only got to see that there are three characters on here, but I didn't actually read anything. So let's see what they got. Let's see what they got. Multiverse never sleeps, and neither does our balance team. We got another round of tweaks coming to Marvel Rivals. Wade Wilson has been bringing the physics engine again. Our favorite monster hunter is getting a slight reality check. Good. And White Fox is tapping deeper into her mystical Kumuho roots. Let's dive into the patch notes and see how the meta is shifting. Okay. All right. So I've been playing some White Fox. So before we go into her changes, I'm going to just give out my suggestions. But let's start with Deadpool. Deadpool has been kind of annoying. But again, not super overbearing. I feel like he is strong, but he's not uncounterable, and he doesn't have like too many bullshit mechanics. But let's see. Let's see what they do for him. Wade's been drinking way too much espresso and breaking the game engine with his parkour. We're putting a tiny leash on his wildest acrobatics, but don't worry, he's still the merc with a mouth and we all know and love. Slightly reduced Deadpool's mobility. We noticed some players using extreme inputs to execute a rapid cycle combo of kick-ass katanas, hazardous hijinks, bunny hops. This change will limit the burst potential of these extreme maneuvers while having almost no impact on players using normal inputs. Healing Hop now have bouncy bunny bounce, bunny hop, and bunny healing hop now have a half a second cooldown after successful refresh. Because this cooldown is so short, it will not be displayed in the ability icons. Okay, so this is a silent cooldown. So you can't just do tricks on it over and over and over again. Okay, that was probably the most annoying part of his kit. So, oh, man. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, okay, as somebody who doesn't really play Deadpool and just having to fight against this, especially DPS Deadpool, where he can kind of blow you up, right, if nobody shoots him. You know, this is a decent change for me, but for the Deadpool players themselves, I don't know. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna reserve judgment until I see it. Duelist, Elsa Bloodstone. Thank fuck, dude. I swear to God, man, they need to just take away all of her stacks on death. And honestly, she shouldn't really even have that much bonus health to begin with. Jesus Christ, I'm so curious to see what they're gonna do. Elsa's taking a slight hit to her durability, meaning you'll need to rely a bit on her agility and firepower to survive the hunt. Reduce base health from 275 to 250. Duh! Why the fuck was she 250 to begin with? I mean, okay, good nerf. Just reduce her stacks to 0. Okay. White Fox. So, so White Fox was super spawn campable because she would have 0. She would have to regenerate all of her tails from scratch, and so on push maps where you're being spawn held, she's even more useless, right? So it kind of didn't make sense. I really want her to come out of spawn with one tail at least, so she can use one ability or go into like her fox form. And another thing, when she does use her fox form, it always uses up at least 2 tails, right? Whereas sometimes you'll go into the fox form, use your dash immediately, miss, and then come out of it, and then you still only have 1, right? I feel like you could have had 2 at least. I don't know. There's some. I only have about 8 or 9 hours on the character, so there's probably some more changes that I can see that can be made. But I'm curious. Let's see. Amihan is bringing the true magic of Kumiho to the front line. We're smoothing out her gameplay experience and giving her a booster baseline survivability so she can keep her team in the fight longer. Okay, I'm curious to see what that means. Upon respawning or exiting her ult, White Fox will now gain full stack of Spirit Tail energy. Okay, wow, they just gave her the Invis treatment. Like, yeah, sure, here's everything. Like, what? I mean, okay. Especially coming out of ult, like, yeah, you were like completely defenseless sometimes. Even especially if you didn't, if you use your TP, if you teleported like to the front line and then used your ult and then you got blown up. I mean, you shouldn't be doing that shit anyway, for sure. But I mean, the only way you can really get blown up is if you get like chain CC'd or something like that. But I mean, that was the only situation. Which again, that's a bad habit. You shouldn't be doing that. And I was doing that because only 8 or 9 hours on the character. I was learning. But there are other situations where it's like, okay, just the idea of, okay, you have three tails, but you need the ult, right? So you use the ult, you heal your teammates, but now you come out of the ult and you're weak, right? Like you're weaker than you were before the ult started. So it's just a weird concept. So I would have been okay with just one tail. But sure, give her all three, I guess. Why not? Sure. Spectral Surge, new effect. Casting this ability now provides 50 healing to White Fox. Okay, so that's her the one where she throws a fox. Which again, I didn't really feel like she needed. Sure, her survivability was kind of low, especially when she was getting dove, but they need to stop doing this thing where you press a button, you get health. Like no. It should be you press a button, you land the ability, and based off of how much damage your ability does, you get health. Right? Like it shouldn't just be free, in my opinion. Because this is just free survivability. This is just free stuff. So these are two changes that yes are gonna help her, but like they're just free. Okay, let's keep going. Reduce the one-time healing provided from Spirit Sanctuary from 70 to 50. Okay, good. Compensation nerf. I feel like that's okay. Yeah, if because you're gonna be using. The thing is, her one-time healing on her teleport, was like on a 12-second cooldown. So it was okay for it to have like at least 70, which even then 70 is really not that much. But now that it's on a 6-second cooldown and you're gonna be selfing a lot more often. That one-time healing from a teleport, I mean, I guess it's pretty consistent that pretty much any ability that she uses will give her 50 healing. But I still feel like it should be, at least her Spirit Fox should have been more based off of the damage or the amount of people that she hits, maybe even like, okay, if you're at full health and you use your Spirit Fox, maybe give it so that you get bonus health, right? Based off of how many people you hit or something like that. That way you can use it to be a little bit more aggressive, right? You Spirit Fox, gain some over health, use your other spectral whatever surge, or I forgot what it was called. But you go in for some damage and then you get out. All right, let's see what the last one is. New effect. While shield is active, it now provides 20 healing per second to allies, including White Fox within shield's range. You see, man. No. Okay, I think I know why they were doing this, and honestly, it's the same reason that they've been giving every single support in this game like just random abilities to survive. It's just a dive. She was a very diveable character. Like there was almost nothing she could do against BP if she missed her Spectral Fox, right? I mean, the best thing you could do is teleport away, and the shield would hopefully like help shield off like a spectral mark, but it could still dash through you, right? So BP was like annoying. Spider-Man is a hard counter because he can just pull you off the map. Magic, same thing, right? Unless you landed your thing, but that's the thing. Like it's a skill thing. Like you have to land your fox to gain an advantage over your character over somebody else, right? So giving her the invisible woman treatment, then next thing you know, they're gonna give her like, oh, now she can self teleport and self shield. Like, no, we didn't need that. Like it was okay giving her a one-time heal and blocking damage, right? You don't gotta stack this one ability with tons and tons of effects, right? Like I don't think this was necessary at all. I feel like they should have let White Fox, especially with the way that the game is changing, right? Like the neutral is a lot more significant now, and so like surviving the neutral and positioning well and doing your damage at the right time and being aggressive at the right time was becoming a lot more important. And honestly, I've seen a lot of people like derank like significantly, like entire ranks, because they can't. And honestly, some of them are support players where like they just don't know how to be aggressive, right? Like you have to. Support is not just heal bot. Support is aggression. So giving them this tool gives them one less thing to think about, right? Because it's like, okay, I'm getting dove, but it's okay because I'm just gonna 50 heal when I Spirit Fox just by pressing the button, and then I'm gonna 50 heal when I when I teleport, and now I'm also going to continuously heal, right? So again, you don't now they're not making it so that you have to kill the problem. They're making it so that you can survive the problem, but the problem is still there. So I don't like these changes. Last one. During her ult, casting Blessed by the 9 no longer consumes White Fox's health. However, Blessed by the 9 now has a 2-second cooldown. Yeah, I felt like her health. I mean, it was kind of stupid. Like, I get it. I get it. It was like a skill thing or whatever, but that was kind of dumb. Like, and honestly, I understand giving your teammates that benefit, but it's just not very powerful, right? Like when you have ults like Gambit in the game, giving somebody like unstoppable and lifesteal, it's just not a really big benefit, right? Like it would have been better. Honestly, I feel like a better version of a role would have been like, okay, kind of like Gambit, where maybe instead of like ridiculous movement speed and ult charge and damage and all this stuff, you just gave him unstoppable and lifesteal and continuous healing. Like that, those three effects on their own are ult worthy, right? So it, like, if you could have just like had all your teammates in front of you, cast it, and now everybody's unstoppable. Everybody, heals themselves and gets a little bit of healing over time. I mean, that would have been good enough on its own, right? But now it's like the big White Fox is like kind of a detriment, right? It's not really that good of an ultimate. I mean, it's good. It's a good offensive like tempo ultimate, right? Where it's like if you see your team like on the front line or even on a flank, right? Like I've done this where like a magic goes on the flank and she's about to like do Dark Child or whatever, then I will ult with her, and if the supports don't have anything to counteract it, then we pretty much just stomp, right? Like the magic gets a bunch of healing from it. I get a lot of the aggro because I'm fucking 900 health, right? So she's not taking a lot of damage, she's getting a lot of healing, but it's just way too counterable because there's just too much CC in this game, right? And Spider-Man can pull you off the map from 20 miles away. Jeff can just eat you, right? Like Bucky slow, Invis push. Like there's just too many things. There's just way too many things in this game that can counter you. So it almost feels like her blessing should have just been the ult, and the big Ninetales thing it's just not as beneficial. But I'm only 8 or 9 hours into the character. Maybe I'm just not using it correctly, but there are so many weaknesses to this ultimate, and it's very easy to get blown up. But that's just a skill issue. I'm just not good enough. We're gonna go with that. But yeah, besides that, yeah, they made White Fox like really easy to play, which I feel like the release White Fox was more of like, okay, we're pushing the game in a certain direction, and this character is like very well suited for that. But now it's like, okay, we're giving her free healing over time, and it's more so regressing towards what the game used to be like a week ago, right? And it's, I don't know. I've been winning a lot of my games on White Fox, and I feel like now I'm gonna win more, but it's not gonna be because I'm better, right? It's just gonna be because like, oh, I have free healing and now I won't die. And in situations where I should have died, like I'm just not gonna. So it's just, yeah, I don't know. These changes are really interesting. These changes are real interesting. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what the White Fox players think. But yeah, besides that, Elsa Bloodstone change does. She should have never released with 250 to begin with, especially with all the bonus health. That's retarded. Honestly, they should probably look into making her 225. Honestly, with all this bonus health and mobility and burst damage and the stupidest ult in the game, like they should look into her being 225. Same thing with like Hawkeye and Hela and Phoenix and all this other stuff, like, but whatever. And this bouncing on your head shit was annoying, but whatever. I guess it's interesting. It's interesting, but yeah. Let me know what you guys think, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Adios.